All right, we're just climbing through about 250, 260 people. Thank you all for joining us today. I really appreciate it. I know that it's amazing, isn't it, how busy we all are in a time when we shouldn't be very busy at all. It's just unique how that works out. We've got really a great program put together for you today. I'm thrilled to be able to welcome Shawn Carpenter to the town hall today. Always very insightful. Before we bring Shawn on, couple of quick things. I want to give you a quick business update. First of all, listings down for the month of April, to give you kind of some context of what's going on. Listings are down about 24% year over year for the month of April. Open, so under contracts, are down about 19% for the month. And as you can probably imagine, you're seeing it out there firsthand. When you're looking at our median sales price, it's actually holding really steady right now. I want to take a quick moment and thank our incredibly dedicated support staff and team for all that they've been doing, whether it be training, sales meetings online, getting our deals closed, managing CDAs, oh my gosh, and so much more. And they're all doing it virtually. So a big shout out to all of them for just like getting the job done amidst all that's going on by remaining safe at home, which has been so important during this time. Also, a big shout out to Tammy for all that, Tammy, you've been doing to keep us all together and focused and moving forward. I know that you've got a few things you wanted to mention. So now would be a great time. I want to make sure that you're on the call.
Well, hello, Chris. Hello, Coldwell Banker. Happy Monday. There's some beautiful sunshine out there today, so I hope that you take a few minutes to get out and enjoy the beautiful Colorado weather. I hear we're going to have a record 80 degrees sometime this week, so that's pretty exciting. Just a couple of housekeeping tips before we get started. If you are on gallery view in Zoom, you want to make sure that you switch on over to speaker view. You can find that button, that little square in the right-hand corner of your screen. Makes it a little bit easier to follow our guest speaker. I will be manning the Q&A, so as Shawn gets going with his presentation, just post any questions in Q&A, and we'll be sure to hit those at the end of his presentation. I think that's all the housekeeping I have, Chris. Back to you.
Fantastic. Let's get rolling then. It's such an honor to introduce Shawn Carpenter. Shawn and I met back in 2002 in New Jersey doing the integrity coaching certification. And since then, I've been able to follow his career across the entire country. Many of you may know that Shawn was originally licensed as a realtor in 1998 and actually was running our education for our Ohio companies, and then jumped back into a sales role with NRT in Central Ohio. He has since founded Shawn Speaks in 2018 and expanded his speaking, consulting, facilitation opportunities. And he's just a great wealth of information, great ideas. He's been recognized by Inman News as one of the top 100 most influential leaders in real estate. He was named as top 20 most influential people in social media for the real estate industry by Swanepoel. And listen, just an overall great guy. He is no stranger to Colorado. He's been out a number of times speaking to our previous group at the time, now Global Luxury, as well as our most recent Education Expo. And when I asked him about the opportunity to come out and talk to us during a town hall, he said absolutely. So first and foremost, Shawn, welcome to Colorado virtually. Great to have you here.
First, greetings. I can see it. I can see the blue skies from here.
I love it. I love it. Hey, listen, I'm going to ask you a couple of quick questions just to get the day started. I'm going to turn it all over to you, and you can give us some great ideas on how to best leverage our time during this current situation. But first of all, I'm curious, you're an active guy. What are you doing to stay physically active these days?
Well, I've been trying during the week, Chris, to get up at regular time, 10 till 6. I get up and feed the dog, and then I get working on my business. I have been walking a lot with the dog. We are able to play golf here in Central Ohio, so I get on the golf course, and it's, under some different circumstances, the tee times are spread out. You got to walk. But really, with my favorite thing I've been doing, Chris, my mom is 83 years old. She still lives in the house we grew up in. So every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I drive down and I have what I call the Octogenarian Walking Club. And I make mom get out of the house, and we walk 5 or 6 blocks down to the mailbox, kind of at the end of her neighborhood. We mail our handwritten notes, and I stop at Starbucks on my way and I bring her morning Starbucks, but we get out every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday and go for a walk. And it's funny because on Sunday nights and on Tuesday nights and on Thursday nights, she texts me and she says, "Are we walking tomorrow?" And I said, "You bet we are, Mom." So that's been great.
Oh, you're a good son. That is a great story. I'm glad to hear that. You know, a lot of us have been sort of locked up in our houses for Tammy, how many days now? She's keeping track for me, which I really appreciate.
Oh gosh, Chris. Chris, thanks for asking. Today is day number 46.
46. Okay, so 46
yeah.
days we've been locked in our houses. I got a question for you, Shawn. What is the one thing about your house, now that you spent a lot of time in your home, that you would change if you could?
Well, one of the good things, Chris, is I have a good answer for that, because when this all kind of started, my family and I were on our spring break in Hilton Head, South Carolina. And the last day of our vacation, that Friday morning, we got a call early in the morning from my wife's father, my father-in-law, and said, "I just went over to check on the house. You got water in your basement." We had some storms roll through. By the time I, couldn't do anything from 900 miles away, I got back, called Surf Pro, and insurance. And by the time I got back, the basement had been sitting in water for, 2 or 3 days. So they had to rip out the carpet. They put the fans down there. They cut out the drywall. So right as we're speaking right now, the painters are downstairs working on the area that was my home office. So I've been working in the dining room for the last 40 or so days. So we're going to be updating our basement, as it finishes up, carpeting going in this week, and then we get to move everything back in, and I get to start working from down there, which my family's gonna be thrilled with, because all the webinars and Zoom calls I've been on, Chris, they sit in the other room, and I think they know all my scripts and punchlines and all my presentations.
Oh, I love it.
And then I love working in the yard, so it's nice to have some warmer weather to get out and start working on the garden beds, and cutting the grass is literally my favorite chore as a homeowner.
Great. Well, listen, we've got 350 of my favorite people in the known universe on this call right now. So I want to waste no time moving forward and turn this over to you, Shawn, on behalf of all of us in Colorado. Thank you for what you do every day.
Perfect, Chris. Well, hey, thanks again for having me, and to all my friends out there that I've met, good to see you again. And to all those of you that haven't, I'm Shawn Carpenter, Columbus, Ohio. So excited to get to share with you guys and share some ideas of really what I call this timeout we've been given. No one planned for this, certainly, and no one really knows what's going to happen next. None of the best people in the world know what's going to happen next. So we all are, I'm a huge sports fan, as many of you guys know. If you follow me on Facebook, I've been asking a sports question every day in captivity, so to speak, and I finish it with, "I miss sports," and it's getting lots of engagement. But if you think about in sports, you guys, the timeout is a critical component of the game of sport in almost every game that's played in sports. And the timeout can be used by teams that are behind, and they can be used by teams that are ahead. But when you use a timeout, if you think about what it's used to make sure everybody's on the same page, to catch your breath, to regroup, to talk about what needs to happen, and to really set some goals for what happens when we go back in the game. And we don't know when we're going to go back in the game. I think all of our governors and our local leaders are making those decisions for us. But what I want to share with you, Chris, is what I call the power of a timeout. And so let's start. For those of you taking notes today, just write the word TIMEOUT, timeout, down your page. And I'm going to give you a little idea or story or thought that we can be doing while we're sheltering in place, while we're on the sidelines, so to speak, while we're in this timeout, to be ready when the whistle blows to hit the ground running full steam and finish the year strong, which I know we all want to do. So, Chris, the first letter T stands for talk to people. Talk to people. And what I want you guys to think about when you talk to people is this. Let's make sure we're utilizing phone calls first and foremost. I'm not sure if some of you guys know this, but inside the iPhone is a phone. There's a phone in there. And actually, you can call people up and talk to them. You can text people. You can email people, even face-to-face. Even though we're not out and about, we are walking in our neighborhoods, and we're out for jogs and waving to your neighbors and talking to your neighbors across the street. What a great opportunity to talk to people. And really what I want to encourage everybody to do right now is not really be in sales mode, but be in help mode. In fact, that's a great phone call to make, is reach out to your customers and your clients and ask the question, "Hey, just calling to find out if there's anything I can do to help." Ask to help. And at this point in time, I know you guys have done a great job, and the whole Coldwell Banker family's done a great job of organizing local activities and events and fundraisers and food drives and whatever it may be around the country. But just reach out and ask to help and have a conversation. Don't worry about selling anything right now. Now is just the time to earn trust and top of mind awareness. And so T is talk to people, right? Let's go to the letter I. And I stands for inquire. Inquire. The best salespeople ask the best questions. And I want to encourage you guys to use this time to ask more questions and, more importantly, listen to the answers you're getting. Because when you listen to the answers, that's going to give you ideas of what to share out with your customers and clients and community, because they're the questions they're asking you. But asking questions is such a critical way. I teased earlier in my introduction, but if you're taking notes, and obviously many of us are on social media right now, Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and Instagram and TikTok and Snapchat, but especially on Facebook, just write this little tip down that I shared. I shared with you guys at the Education Summit, but some of you might not have remembered it, but it's this. Use more question marks and fewer periods. Use more question marks and fewer periods. See, when you ask a question, especially on a site like Facebook, you're encouraging people, or you're asking people to engage with you. And the more engagement we get right now, the more opportunities we have to connect with more people in our sphere of influence and our friend list and in our local communities. So when you ask questions, you're asking someone to leave a response. If you just end your post with a period, well, what are people supposed to do other than maybe leave an answer? So when you ask a question mark, and it can be questions about music, it can be questions about food, it can be questions about your town or hobbies or interests, it could be real estate questions. When you mix it up, and then even more importantly, ask people inside the comments, all right? Watch the comments come in and then engage with those people, because the more you engage with those people, the more your stuff shows up on their pages. And obviously right now we want to get in front of people in all the ways possible. And so inquire and ask more questions. Focus on ideas, information, and inspiration. Ideas, information, and inspiration. That's what I would want to do to start asking questions that could spur those things on. All right, let's go to letter M. M stands for make at least one video. Make at least one video. Now, some of you guys have been doing a great job. I've been so impressed by my peers in the real estate business, and especially around the Coldwell Banker family nationwide, that have been jumping in front of their cameras to make a video. But taking the opportunity right now to, I'm not saying make a full-blown production video, but not being afraid of turning a camera on us and making a video that either can be posted on our YouTube channel, or just a video that can get shared on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, Instagram stories, right? Or IGTV. You can do a Facebook Live. I've been having a lot of success with Facebook Lives every Friday night. I've been going live. We did our 5th week last Friday. I say it's the Facebook Live show that's sweeping the nation. It's called Lost Lyrics, and so every Friday I jump on and I share various lyrics from rock and roll songs, and then my viewers have to name the artist and the band. So that's been fun, but I'm getting 400 or 500 views every week, getting about 500 or 600 comments on, so a lot of engagement. Once again, guys, taking time to make a video to educate or entertain your tribe. Educate or entertain your tribe, just getting in front of people. You're not trying to sell anything. All you're trying to do is earn that little spot of top of mind awareness. So when someone thinks real estate, they think about you. And they can think about you from a standpoint of, you're talking about maybe something happening in your local community, or you're talking about something happening funny in your family. I've seen people do cooking shows. We've seen people do trick golf shots. We've seen people take on home repair projects, whatever it may be. And if you're afraid of video, if you're just sitting there saying like, come on, Shawn, I don't want to do video. Look, even just sending a video text message to a loved one or a close friend. Just open up a text message, turn the camera on you, hit record, and send a short little video. And I just think that'll start getting you over that fear of the camera, but more importantly, it's going to get engagement. I can almost guarantee it. All right. Okay, here's the letter E. E is for earn trust. Earn trust, right? We are in a trust-based business. Anyone who's in real estate really is in the people business. And what we try and do with that is earn a cult-like following, right? When people know you, like you, and trust you. But here's what I found in my 22 years of real estate experience. The knowing and liking part is pretty simple, right? Because people can know you and like you, but if they don't trust you, it's going to be really hard to be the one they think of when it comes time to have a real estate, either a purchase or a sale down the road. So the knowing and liking is great, but earning trust is so important. How do you earn trust from your customers, your clients, and your communities? 3 C's, the customers, clients, and communities. How do you earn trust from your customers, clients, and communities? Well, I'll tell you, there's 3 C's to earn trust. And for those of you guys taking notes, write these 3 C's down. The first C is competence. Competence. How good are you at what you do? Do you know your stuff? That's incredibly important for someone to trust you. The second C is confidence. How confident are you about what you do and where you live and the services you offer? And see, people can hear your confidence in your answers. They can see your confidence in your body language. More importantly, they can feel your confidence. And when someone feels confident and competent, they're going to earn trust. And the last C, I think, is the most important C to earning trust, and that's consistency. Consistency. How consistent are you at delivering competence and confidence in what you do? So you need confidence and competence and consistency in your local market, in your services you offer, in the product and everything you do as a real estate agent. And when you can start earning trust now, when you're not even buying or selling anything, when someone has a need, they're going to go to that trustworthy name. Our brand has earned trust for 114 years. How are you earning trust every single day? So when someone sees your name, they think real estate, or more importantly, when someone thinks real estate, they see your name. That's really critical. So that's the time. Now let's go to the OUT. All right. O stands for optimism. Optimism. Guys, this is definitely some interesting circumstances we're living under right now. We need to maintain a positive attitude as best we can. We need to wake up every single day and ask ourselves a question. Is today going to be a great day or a great day? And if the answer is not a great day, then hit your snooze button. And in 9 more minutes, ask yourself again, is today going to be a great day or a great day? Now, I know there might be some days you have to hit your snooze button a couple times, but everyone on this call knows that the second you put your feet on the floor, if you don't choose for it to be a great day, if you're assuming it's going to be negative or a bad day, it's probably going to be a challenging day. So make it a great day. Using affirmations is a very, very powerful way to make sure you have optimism in your day. Affirmations are nothing more than positive self-statements that you say to yourself, either out loud or subconsciously. I've yet to talk to somebody who uses affirmations on a regular basis in their day that doesn't believe they work. So finding ways to use affirmations in your day, I think, is a huge thing. And just keep saying to yourself, this too shall pass, right? We all know, we don't know when it's going to be, but if we fast forward 6 months, we're going to look back and say, gosh, remember we thought it was going to be longer, and let's hope that's the case. But optimism is a huge thing to do, and let's take that opportunity right now during this timeout to believe that we can win this game when we get back into it. Because that's what teams that are behind do, is they come out of that timeout with optimism, and teams that are ahead come out with even more optimism because they try and leverage that momentum that they have going out of that timeout into the rest of their year. All right, letter U, update u.com. Now, I know there's not a site out there called u.com, but what I'm talking about is, guys, let's take the time right now during this timeout that we've been given in front of our desktops or our laptops or iPads or even our phones, and let's update every place we show up online. Let's update our social media presence. Let's go on coldwellbanker.com on the backside. Let's go on Colorado Homes or whatever your intranet site is, and make sure your profile's up to date. When was the last time you changed the text in there? When was the last time you updated your photo? Do all your photos match across all the channels? If I look for you on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or your website, do I see 4 different pictures in those 4 different places? Let's make sure we update everything we can. In fact, here's an assignment. After this call, I want you to go online, go to Google, and type in your name and your city. Type in your name and the word realtor. Type in your name and Coldwell Banker. What shows up on those first couple pages? Is it the same stuff on all those pages? Whether you type in Coldwell Banker, Colorado, realtor, insert your town here, or are there multiple sites? Maybe someone on this call has joined us from another company, and welcome to Coldwell Banker, the best place you'll ever be. But let's say you're with another company, Rocky Mountain Real Estate, and that page still shows up when someone Googles your name. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. So update everything that you can. Take the time now, so when it gets busy, and we will be busy again, guys, make sure all of your profiles are updated, right? My friend Peter Brewer, who's a friend of mine from Australia, says, does your digital twin look just like you, right? When someone goes online, will they see the same person they've met offline? And when we take this time right now over this next 20, 30, 45 days, when someone meets you, when we're back out face-to-face or mask-to-mask with people, are they going to say, gosh, you're just like the person I've been following the last 30, 40, 60 days online? And it really is genuine when they see who you are and what you do, that you're funny, that you're a chef, you entertain, you do crafts. What are those things that people see online and offline? And the last T, guys, is teamwork. Teamwork, right? Almost everybody on this call, by definition, is an independent contractor. Sure, we have the leadership team, we have the managers and some of the corporate office staff, but for the most part, we're independent contractors on this. But we are all part of a team, right? You don't work for Coldwell Banker, you work with Coldwell Banker, and they're your partners. We are partners. I'm in the Ohio section, you guys are in the Colorado section, but we are business partners, and we have opportunities. So what is the teamwork you can leverage right now with your families and your loved ones inside your four walls, with your neighbors and your community members, with your fellow agents inside your office? I'm hearing great stories, Chris and Tammy, around the country of people doing virtual happy hours. Our branch office that I'm part of here in Columbus, we had a scavenger hunt on Zoom last week. It was a blast. Our manager, broker, she would give us things. We had the 60 seconds to go find them in there. That's teamwork. And on that call, we talked about some successes. We talked about some challenges. We talked about things that are working, things that aren't working, and we're working together as a team. Once again, guys, you have partnered with a company that's been around for 114 years, being the global leader of innovation and representation of our customers and clients. So leverage that. And this is also a big one. I talked earlier about asking to help, asking our customers and clients to help them if they need any help. But I really want to make sure everybody pays attention to this one. Don't be afraid to ask for help. Right? There's over 300 people on this call. Chris and his team do an unbelievable job. You guys are so lucky to have someone like Chris McGatt. I've known him for almost 20 years. I travel all around the country, and I get to meet all the leaders around the country, and there's no one that's more dedicated to helping the success of his agents and his leadership team and his staff members down to every branch office than Chris McGatt. Guys, don't be afraid to ask for help. Every one of us is nervous. Every one of us is a little bit scared about what's going to happen next. And so reach out to fellow team members, certainly leadership. And if you need any help with anything, reach out to me in Columbus, Ohio, if I can help with anything. But now's not the time to act like we know what we're talking about if we don't. When you travel with somebody, the flight attendant says, if you're traveling with somebody, put your own oxygen mask on first. Guys, we've got to be healthy and mentally capable before we can help our customers, our clients, and our communities. So teamwork's a big one for me. I'm certainly proud to work with my office, with my local company, with my brand, and with all the team around the country. So Chris, let's bring you back on, maybe bring Tammy back on. The TIMEOUT of the timeout we've been given, I think is such a great time for us to just go back into the huddle, get our stuff together, and just wait for that referee, wherever that referee is, to blow the whistle and say, game on, let's get back in the game, that we aren't just stretching out, getting ready to go back in the game. We're already loosened up, we're already warmed up, and we're mentally prepared to get in the game.
Well said. Thank you so much. I love that idea of use more question marks, less periods. That's one of many great takeaways today. So thank you.
No problem. You know, Chris, I think that one's so critical because once again, it's easy to come up with questions. Like I said, music questions. Go online today and ask a question. Go on Facebook and say, what's your favorite song with a color in the title? A day of the week in the title, a number in the title, and you're going to get 15, 25, 100 answers, right? The best, Chris, I'm sure you guys probably in Colorado have like a comedy club, right? Like a Funny Bone or something like that. And you ever been to that show and you're laughing with your peers and your people you're there with, and you're like, oh my God, what that guy just said is so funny because it's so true. You talk about real life stuff. And when you're human on social media, people want to engage with you. I mean, how many people are coming on these Zoom webinars and they're leaning into the camera going, look at my roots. Oh my gosh, I haven't had my hair done. And, and they're being so real because they're just dropping their shields. Yep. Not trying to be perfect. And social media with questions gives us a chance to engage.
That authenticity. All right, Tammy, take it away.
Okay, Shawn, no fair talking about my roots. Okay, let's see. We need to get LaDawn out of her house. Something about a kill room in the basement. Let's see. Any questions for Shawn? Lindsay brings up a great idea, do an online presence audit. I love that digital twin. That really struck me. So that's a great idea. Are you who you are digitally? Let's see. Oh, what was the I in talk?
I is inquire. Here, I'll roll them again really quick, Tammy. Okay. We got T for talk to people.
Great.
We got I for inquire, right? Ask more questions, as Chris referenced. The M is make at least one video. That's kind of my M for MTV, right? Remember the old MTV? Guys, how many of you guys are old enough to remember when MTV, music television, actually showed music on television, right? Remember that? The videos? E is earn trust, right? We do that through confidence, competence, and consistency. Right? The O was optimism, right? Maintain positive attitudes. The U was update u.com, or update all of your online images and profiles. And the last T was teamwork. T for teamwork.
Excellent.
Okay, that answered a lot of our questions. We had people who missed some of the letters, so that's great. Thank you, Shawn. LaDawn, we need to get you out of the house. Our comments from LaDawn on the kill room.
Well, let me explain that, because LaDawn, when they were watching my Lost Lyrics show on Friday last week, because we had our basement refinished, the back of my office downstairs was covered with tarp, and so people thought it looked like something from Dexter or something like that.
Like Dexter.
Yeah, so it's good that people look. Everybody, Tammy, you know what happens on these Zoom calls? Everybody's looking at people's backgrounds in their houses, like, oh, I love their view from their patio. Oh, I like their bookshelves, right? And so having that nice background was important.
Yeah, so usually people comment about the fish behind me. So yeah, I get that. Let's see. And then there's a question here, Shawn. How are you surviving without all of your brewery visits?
Well, that's a great question there, Diane. I am a huge craft beer aficionado. So what I'm doing, Diane, is I'm trying to kill two birds with one stone. I'm supporting my local craft breweries by going in, and a lot of them have carry out opportunities. So picking up some craft beers and bringing them home, and once again, sharing on social media, tagging the breweries I went to, letting them know how much I appreciate their products, and leaving reviews, and sharing with my friends and family around the country which beers I've liked and paid attention to. So something fun.
Okay, great. Well, just to kind of thank you, Shawn. Yes.
You see Hector's question.
Do I see Hector's question? Oh, what do you recommend for new agents that don't have the clientele footprint as others?
Okay, so great question, Hector. What I would recommend you do is you go into your, Instagram's a great opportunity for you to do that. Go into the search function and search hashtag Denver, search hashtag Cherry Hill, search hashtag 303, whatever local hashtags you might be able to find. Start following through some of those threads, seeing what people are talking about, get a little more educated on what some of the local places and things they're talking about. Following some of those people just on a long tail follow, you don't want to follow them and then immediately send them a message saying, can I be your realtor? But once again, following some people, maybe seeing who they have friends in common with. Everything you can do local, I need to start focusing on that. And then also just right now, a lot of education opportunities. I know, Chris, your team and really the whole Coldwell family has got lots of education opportunities. Take this time to, so to speak, sharpen your saw so that you're ready to go back out there when you can. A lot of market analysis right now. Chris and Tammy, would be a great time for them to go in and learn their neighborhoods, right? Learn a lot about your neighborhood where you live. And then once you learn your neighborhood, learn about the 5 neighborhoods around it, and then the 10 neighborhoods around those. And once again, get to know the markets really well. Because Chris, the number one question we're going to get is the same question we got before the pandemic. How's the market, right? It's the number one question. When someone says, how's the market? They're not saying, how's the market in Maine or Seattle? They're saying, how's the market right here in Mayberry, USA, right where I live in downtown Colorado Springs, right down here in Englewood? How's the market right here? And when you know those answers, and then you can go metro, and then you can go state, and then you can go national, it just is such an opportunity for us to create that engagement. And once again, Chris, show our confidence and our competence.
Great. So one question off of that, search hashtags. Where do you do that?
But once again, anytime you, like on Instagram, see if I can pull up Instagram right here. If I go to my Instagram page and just click on the little magnifying glass at the bottom, Tammy, and then just in that top, I just start typing in the pound sign. If I do 614, for instance, I search 614. It shows me that there's 614. If I go there, there's 1.2 million posts that have been posted on Facebook about my area code right here. So I'll just give an idea. Chris, give me the name of like a town or a neighborhood there, like a Centennial, right?
Sure.
So I could do Centennial. Now, once again, that might pull up like Centennial celebrations. But if I type in Centennial, Here's Centennial, Colorado. Just the hashtag itself, Centennial, Colorado, has 19,000 posts. And if I click on that, I could follow that post, which means every time a new post comes up with that, but I can look at the most recent, and I can see here that this person posted literally 3 minutes ago and used the hashtag Centennial, Colorado. And she's a fashion, looks like she's a fashion person, and she's shared a couple things, but once again, I can find some things that were hashtags directly. I could type in real estate, I could type in investor, I could type in flip. There's lots of different things I can do, Tammy, and just once again, play around with what seems to fit what I'm looking for in that niche.
Okay, great. And then a couple of comments here. RPR, don't forget this great resource.
Unbelievable. RPR is part of you. Everyone who's on this call is a realtor. It's part of your dues. NARRPR.com. NARRPR.com is a great source to go in and get down to an individual. It's called a Realtor Evaluation, so it's like a Zillow evaluation, but usually a little more update and correct. We can go down to the neighborhoods, and once again, great source when you're talking to a consumer. Just say, hey, would you like me to send you your latest evaluation of your property? And with a couple clicks, you can have that out to them. It's a great way to capture that. So T Halby, that's a great source as well.
Okay, lots of thank yous. Shawn, thank you so much for being with us. I don't see any other questions for Shawn. So Chris, back to you.
All right, sounds great. Shawn, again, thank you from all of us here in Colorado for helping us become better and stronger during this time. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris. Connect with me on social. I'll be happy to help.
Take care. All right, let's move on to the business of the business. First of all, I know that we all continue to get a lot of conflicting information about how we can operate. And as I've mentioned before, there just is no one size fits all. Each buyer, each seller, different situations. I'm going to have Tammy in a moment or two talk more about some of the specifics in how to operate when it comes to showings and listings. But I will say on this beautiful Colorado day today, we are moving officially as a state from stay at home to safer at home. So as we know, as we look at the whole stay at home concept, because remember, many of us are staying at stay at home until the 8th of May. All of our large counties, metropolitan counties, are all delaying the shift to safer at home until May 8th. But talking about safer at home in general, and what that actually means, it means that if you're over 60, stay home. It means that if you're outside your house, wear a mask. And if you can work from home, just work from home. Like that's the safer at home mandate, if you will, as we move forward throughout the state, with the exception of those counties that are holding on a little bit longer to stay at home. Let's talk a bit about our actual offices, because a lot of questions come up to me about when are we reopening offices, when are we getting back to normal, all of those types of questions. So we are going to keep our offices accessible the way they are right now, accessible to you. They're locked, but they're accessible to you until at least May the 18th. So whether or not a local market is going from safe at home, or rather stay at home or safer at home, our offices will remain accessible until the 18th. We'll assess that the week before as to what we're going to do. That means that all of our staff will remain working virtually from home. And they've been doing an exceptional job of doing that and making sure the business of the business is carrying forward. Closings are getting processed. Things are getting done the way you need them to get done to run your business as you can run your business right now. And then again, we'll make that assessment moving forward. If you are a CB Select member, meaning you're paying for a specific office space, remember the office is accessible, but until we move to safer at home, which will occur May 8th in many of our communities, I'm going to ask you to stay out of the offices. No good comes from being in the office. Stay home, base out of your home, and we'll make sure we're doing all that we can to support you during this time. Remember, what's happening right now will not last forever. The best thing we can do to help flatten that curve, as they said, is make sure we're just being smart. We're making good common sense decisions. So Tammy, if you kind of walk us through a bit about operating specifically and what some of the counties have said we can do, that'd be great.
Sure. So for Denver, Jefferson, Adams, Arapahoe, Broomfield City, and County, they've all extended their stay-at-home through May 8th. Chris mentioned that. Larimer County, Douglas County, and Weld County are moving to safer at home, which means in-person showings are allowed, no more than 3 people in the home at one time, and everyone needs to adhere to the strict social distancing guidelines, and everyone needs to wear a mask. Boulder County has also extended stay at home until May 8th, but they are allowing in-person showings with those same 3 major criteria. So that is strict guidance to the social distancing, no more than 3 people in the home, and everyone must wear a mask. Things are moving, as Chris mentioned, quickly. By the time I get done with this next sentence, another county or a city could have changed the guidelines. But thanks to all of you for keeping me up to date. A big shout out to Dave D'Alena and Brian Anzer, who are on the front of a lot of this communication. So we really appreciate that. So things are changing, but again, when in doubt, please stay home. We are safer at home. We've all learned to adjust, day number 46. But again, if you're out there showing property in an area that we're allowed to show homes now, please make sure that your buyer is comfortable and the seller is comfortable with what's going on. This doesn't certainly give us just a blanket approval to go show a property. The sellers need to be okay with that. Great communication between you, your clients, and of course the co-oping agent on the other side. Thanks, Chris.
Excellent, Tammy, thank you. Brandon and Bree up in Erie asked a quick question. With Boulder County extending stay at home and Weld County safer at home, we live in Boulder County side of Erie. Our office in Erie is in Weld County. What should we do? Stay home. No, it's a great question, but you bring up, I think, an even more important question, which is your office in Erie. I know Laura Levy has an office location in Lyon. Listen, all of those small sort of outpost offices, man, keep them closed. If you happen to go to that location to do some work, bring your mask and keep the door locked. Like, don't open it. You're not open to the public. It's really important, I think. But again, so much of this, as Tammy just said, really has to do with, we just got to use really good common sense. And if ever you need to err on one side, err on the side of being a little more conservative. You can't go wrong that way. And just recognize that, you know, at the end, we just want everybody to get healthier. Another question that popped up, which is, when will construction begin on Southwest Metro? Well, what I do know is we've submitted the plans for Southwest Metro. We don't have a building permit yet. So unfortunately, I can't give you any more of an update than that right now, but stay tuned. Tammy, any updates from El Paso County? I didn't see any come through.
You know, I was on their site right before the town hall, and I quickly perused that. I didn't see anything different, but I see that Michael Pepperth is saying that they're moving to safer at home. So if they're moving to safer at home, then that would mean they're following the governor's guidelines, which would allow in-person showings. I will reach out to see if I can confirm that before we go any further with that.
Excellent. I see from Patricia here, because there are tenants in the home, I've asked the seller to get permission for me to do a video because I don't want to have tenants complain to Dora. Any other ideas? Wow, you're spot on. Like, tenants are probably the most sensitive situation of all that we have going on right now. So when you have a tenant who's occupying a property, whether you're showing that property, whether you're listing that property, go the extra mile. Talk to the landlord, but then go one step further. Ask permission from your landlord to speak directly to the tenants and have a conversation with them and ask them what they are comfortable with. They're the ones that are living in that house. They're the ones that have to really be comfortable with us being in there, anyone else being in that property. Here's what I do know. We do not want to be on Channel 7 or Channel 9 or Channel 4 unless we're laying lions giving a report on real estate. That part's fine. Otherwise, we do not want to be there. And you don't want to be that agent that gets called out. So please, again, err on the side of being conservative.
I will, let's see, Vicki. Oh, I just lost that. Where did it go? I have not seen that gloves are required. If you have gloves, I would wear gloves during a showing. I think the goal is that we don't touch, if you're have the buyers, that the buyers aren't touching a lot of things. In fact, they're not touching anything in a seller's home. That seller should have some doors opened, everything that a buyer would want to look at. So less contact, the better on that. Adams County, I have not seen anything released that they are allowing in-person showings. Denver is not allowing in-person showings at this time. They have extended this stay at home until May the 8th. Nita, I sent out a really lengthy email on Saturday morning with links to different counties. You can go to those links and get that information. There's also a link to 9 News, which had detailed information county by county. I'm happy to resend that if you'd like me to resend that to you.
The remodel plans, yes, those offices, the 4 offices that were slated for remodels, we do have the permit for Denver Central, so we're scheduling that right now. The other ones are either in permit or not yet in permit, so updates to follow. Do we cover those? I think we covered those.
Christine, I will check. I have not seen anything that DMAR said Denver is allowing personal showings, but I will certainly investigate that. Like I said, everything is changing minute by minute, it seems, in our world right now. So Carrie, Arapahoe extended, so no in-person showings. I'll get back to, I have saved this chat. So hopefully I can answer the questions before they change the rules. That's what they did to me last town hall. The minute I got ready to respond to the Q&A, then everything changed. So a lot of what I had to say didn't matter anymore.
Trying to keep on your toes there, Tammy.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I will save this chat again and back over to you, Chris.
Okay, quick update on Listing Concierge. First of all, a lot of great feedback from Listing Concierge, both on the chat last week, as well as on text messages and emails this week. We are super, super excited about the 2 enhancements we're making with Listing Concierge. Not only the overnight delivery for brochures when you need a brochure, we're thinking long-term here, but also the first-class delivery for the mailers that go out. But what I'm hearing the most about is moving to this Boost platform, giving each one of you the ability, the opportunity to absolutely rule social media when it comes to getting the word out about your listing. So if you haven't yet taken one of Lindsay's classes or Todd's classes or Adam's classes on Boost, that social media enhancement coming out on all Listing Concierge Gold and Platinum orders starting on May 1st, make sure you do that. If you are taking advantage of the option to say, hey, I don't want the brochures right now, I can't use them, so instead I'll take Boost, keep in mind you're getting an extra 5 days of Boost. So you're going from 5 days to 10 for Gold and 10 to 15 for Platinum. And wow, talk about impacting the world from a social media standpoint. Oh, take full advantage of that, really good news. Prices also go into effect, $295 for silver, $430 for gold, and $875 starting May 1st. So stay tuned for more information on that. But by now, Todd has sent out a lot of good, solid collateral and giving you the details. And speaking of training, Tammy, gosh, there's a lot of good things going on right now.
Yes, there is. Okay, so our 30-minute, or excuse me, our 20-minute Core 4 training classes. We have one tomorrow on Brand Serve. That is the 28th at 3 o'clock. If you have not gone into my CB desk and checked out Brand Serve, it's a really amazing site. That's how you can share those hometown heroes and customize that. So you don't want to miss that class with Todd and Adam tomorrow. And then our next 20-minute class is Google My Business. Learn how to create a Google My Business listing. And that is going to be taught by the amazing Lindsay, and that's Wednesday, the 29th at 3 o'clock. And then our final 20-minute class for the week is on Real Vitalize. That program is still up and running. I've gotten a lot of questions on that. And that is going to be taught by Adam and Todd, and that is on the 30th at 3 o'clock. We do have a couple of additions this week. We have full classes, Owning Objections, taught by Adam South, and that is tomorrow from 11 to 1. And then he is teaching another full class, Sphere of Influence, and that is on Wednesday, the 29th, from 9:30 to 11:30. You should have received all of those invites in your email. If not, your manager has those, so just ask them to resend the links for all of those classes this week. I think that's it on education, Chris.
Wow, nice job as usual. There's, as you can see firsthand, wow, there's a lot going on right now. And there's a lot of opportunities, as we've said in the past, to do two things during this time. The first thing is taking a little bit of your time to sharpen your blade, so to speak, to learn a few things you haven't already learned. These classes are a great example of that. But then also, as Shawn was alluding to earlier in today's program, this is the perfect time to reach out to those people that know you, trust you, and like you, and are likely to do business with you. Stay connected with them during this time. These town halls are designed to do a couple things. First of all, inform you on what's happening in the business and in the business environment that we're in right now, but they're also designed to inspire you to be the very best version of who you are. And that's given to us by people like Shawn. And I am thrilled to be able to announce who we're going to have at our next town hall a week from today on the 4th at 1 o'clock p.m., not a.m. I know I'm a little bit challenged when I send out these invites. So for those of you that called back or texted me and said, oh my gosh, really 1 in the morning? Are we that busy? No, that was my mistake. So 1 o'clock next Monday, the 4th of May, we're going to have Matthew Ferreira join us. And he's going to be talking about a new concept he's had put together called the U recovery. And he is he's a magician when it comes to navigating the waters between what motivates us to do the things that we do, what are the skills we need to have to do them, and then artfully putting them all together. So don't miss next week. All the questions that come in from right now, Tammy will make sure we get back to you on those questions. Please know, we are as close as email. We're as close as the phone. We're as close as texting. Let us know. If you have a question, you have a need, you have a concern, something isn't settling well with you, just reach out to us. We're all in this together. Again, a big shout out goes out to all of our amazing leadership team that is standing fast every single day to make sure they are there to support you. Please attend those virtual sales meetings. If you haven't engaged in coaching with your manager, take advantage of that. The virtual coaching is an amazing platform to be able to really stay focused right now on what's going on. And from all of us, thank you for all you are doing right now to keep Colorado safe. Have a great week.
Thanks, Chris.
Thank you. Take care, everybody.
Grandma, I'm gonna vacuum it, the shower.
Chris.
I guess some of the agents are.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Take care.
It's very good. It seems like through like the chat, and that's not my understanding of it. They're gonna get back to us, though.
Guys, great job.
Changing all the time.
Here, be safe.
And hey, I know it's just right now, but hopefully soon here.